Coming up on Cronkite News tonight, wildfires continue spreading across Arizona and sparking evacuation orders. We have the latest.
Later, a nonprofit group opens a new center in Arizona to help feed children in need.
And later on Break It Down, why so many people keep moving to Arizona and how that impacts our economy.
Cronkite News starts now.
Good evening and welcome to Cronkite News on Arizona PBS. I'm Sinead Hickey.
And I'm Harrison Klopp. Thank you for joining us. Hot temperatures and drought conditions are fueling several wildfires burning in Arizona. Just this afternoon, the Coconino National Forest announced it will close Wednesday because of fire danger. This weekend, officials evacuated the towns of Strawberry and Pine after a fire exploded in size near Camp Verde. The Backbone fire was first reported 8 miles southeast of Camp Verde last week. Firefighters are trying to keep flames out of Hardscrabble Canyon. Fire crews are also using helicopters and air tankers. The fire burned about 3,500 acres when it first started. Over the weekend, it burned more than 32,000 acres. Firefighters are asking people who live any place south of State Route 260 to prepare their homes and be ready to leave.
Because if something does happen, fire gets spots across the river, and we get a hard push and we have to recommend some evacuations, we want people to be prepared. If you have horses, things like that, it gets much harder.
Triple-digit temperatures plus dry brush and vegetation have created extreme burning conditions in the state. Fire officials say all state land trust, Prescott, Tonto, and Coconino National Forests are under Stage 2 fire restrictions, which means no campfires or smoking outside.
Maricopa County's Public Health Department is investigating deaths around the valley that are potentially heat-related. So far, 3 deaths have been confirmed to be heat-related this year. The department is investigating 20 other cases that might be related. 10 of those deaths were reported within the last week. Last year, the department reported over 300 heat-related deaths. That was the highest amount since they started tracking the numbers 20 years ago.
In Arizona, a new report from the 2021 Kids Count data book shows about 19% of children are living in poverty. Cronkite News reporter Tina Giuliano talked with an organization about their efforts to help those below the poverty line. Tina?
A new report by the 2021 Kids Count data book shows that 15% of Arizona children are living in high poverty areas compared to the national average of 9%. The Children's Action Alliance says they've been making progress over the past decade, but COVID-19 could erase that progress. But the nonprofit Feed the Children are continuing their efforts to help those in need. Throughout the pandemic, Feed the Children Chief U.S. Operations Officer Gary Sloan said they continued to collect donations and distribute items. In fiscal year 2020, Feed the Children delivered 49 shipments of food to local organizations who work directly with families in need. Over 300,000 children and families receive food and other personal care essentials.
Actually, the pandemic improved the gift and kind donations and the cash donations for Feed the Children. It's kind of a double-edged sword.
Sloan said the pandemic presented new challenges that caused Feed the Children and their community partners to shift the way they distributed items to families and children. Feed the Children is opening a new distribution center in Chandler tomorrow. This facility will also be home to one of the 5 teacher store locations where teachers and students can receive free food and supplies. In the broadcast center, Tina Giuliano, Cronkite News.
Coming up after the break, a local push to help communities get vaccinated. Volunteers in Tempe organized to reach the local homeless population with free COVID vaccines and other health resources.
Plus, the Suns took a 1-game lead in the Western Conference Finals with a win last night over the Clippers. We'll talk more about the current status of the team in just a bit.
Every day I wake up, my first thought is, how can I serve this community?
The biggest hurdle was not taking PTSD personally.
Would you welcome, please, the amazing.
Everybody that watches this, they say that I am the greatest that they've ever seen.
It's
It's prime time on your time. Watch Prime Afternoons every weekday on Arizona PBS. Did you miss a show in the evening? Then catch up on Prime Afternoons. Your favorite dramas.
No more bloody heroics.
Antiques Roadshow.
Really?
Nature and Nova.
It's time to reintroduce some wonder into this miracle of nature.
All of the best from PBS on Prime Afternoons. Weekdays starting at 1:30, only on Arizona PBS. Take a journey with Arizona PBS. Join us every Sunday afternoon for Destination Drama. Watch all your favorite PBS dramas like Grantchester.
I'm William Davenport, new vicar of Grantchester.
Poldark.
Nothing in my life has meaning without you.
And Victoria.
I know that I'm young, but I know my duty.
And if you missed a recent primetime drama, we'll help you catch up on those too. Destination Drama. Every Sunday afternoon at 1. Only on Arizona PBS.
Cronkite News is more than your local news station. Through our innovative ideas, we create new ways to connect with our viewers and have their stories be heard. Our cutting-edge technology allows us to take a deeper dive into seeking the truth and delivering new perspectives. Stay up to date on top Arizona stories anytime on TikTok, Twitter, and Facebook at Cronkite News.
As the country commemorated Juneteenth, volunteers in Tempe dedicated the newly recognized federal holiday to helping people in need. Cronkite News reporter Gianluca D'Elia takes us to Tempe's Juneteenth Day of Freedom, where COVID vaccines were distributed.
Some Maricopa County residents celebrated Juneteenth by getting the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. Street Medicine Phoenix and the University of Arizona deployed more than a dozen volunteers to the Salvation Army in Tempe to help the homeless population get their shots. Members of the team say some of the area's most vulnerable populations have been hesitant to get vaccinated.
The largest issue that we have had thus far is individuals unfortunately having certain misconceptions or doubts about the vaccine, and it's sometimes very difficult to either persuade them or drive them on the other side of the fence to actually take the plunge and be protected.
This Juneteenth celebration was all about community wellness, so organizations from all over Maricopa County provided free resources like food, toys, a clean shower, a free haircut, and toiletry bags like this one. Organizers said their goal was to improve the mental health of people experiencing poverty in whatever way they could.
We really want to exemplify what Juneteenth is all about. It was much more than a day that just freed those who were enslaved. It really put a staple on the morality behind enslaving human beings, and it also was a collective effort really to free the mental unwellness of people around the world.
Since January, groups like Circle the City, working in partnership with Maricopa County, have administered the vaccine to some 4,000 people experiencing homelessness.
A lot of the work right now is just really making sure we're informing people, really giving them as much detail as possible, having conversations with them about what the vaccine is and its safety.
She says community events like this are one of many ways to improve access. Reporting in Tempe, Gianluca D'Elia, Cronkite News.
The CDC says people experiencing homelessness face a higher risk of COVID-19 during the pandemic. Maricopa County has dedicated more than $17 million to help those without housing.
American Airlines canceled hundreds of flights through mid-July. One of the reasons, a labor shortage. The airline had 120 cancellations on Saturday alone and is projecting at least 50 to 80 flight cancellations a day going forward. The surge in demand for air travel, unprecedented bad weather, and vendors' challenges trying to return to full employment are other factors. The airline's Dallas-Fort Worth hub is said to be most affected by the scheduling issues. American Airlines customers who have been booked through July 15th will be notified so they can make travel adjustments in advance.
Alarming news from NASA and the National Oceanic Atmospheric Administration. Scientists say Earth is trapping double the amount of heat in the atmosphere than it did nearly 15 years ago. From 2005 to 2019, researchers found that the planet has been gaining more of the sun's energy than it should. They warn that climate change will continue to worsen if this energy imbalance doesn't start declining. This could mean temperatures increasing and more melting snow and sea ice. It could also mean more extreme events like the historic drought affecting the western U.S. The study published in the journal Geophysical Research Letters found the imbalance was caused in part by human-induced greenhouse gas emissions and fluctuations in the climate system.
After a week of heat records in the valley and much of the Southwest, temperatures seem to be cooling down. But for how long? Let's go to Peyton Watts for the forecast and find out.
All right, let's get started by taking a look at our Southwest regional map. As you look here in this Las Vegas, Yuma, and Phoenix triangle, we're still seeing a lot of heat here. As you move up north, we're going to have even 103 degrees in the northern half of the Southwest region up in Salt Lake City. Taking a closer look in the Phoenix and Arizona area, it's going to be 108 degrees tomorrow in Phoenix. Moving up north, we're going to cool down a little bit. It's going to be 87 degrees in the Grand Canyon. But do not be deceived, as until 8 p.m. on Saturday, we're going to be seeing a heat warning up there. So if you're planning on going up there, just drink a lot of water, dress light, try not to overheat if you're trying to go on a hike or anything. Just be safe. And then for our evening tonight, it's going to be 108 degrees and sunny come 6 p.m. around dinner time. Might be a good night to go out. Coming into the later hours, it's going to be only 100 degrees come 10 p.m. when everybody's going to bed. Still clear skies. Might be a nice night to do something outdoors if you're planning on it, because we might not have another day like this for a while. Now coming into our 8-day forecast. 108 degrees and cloudy tomorrow. Still going to see those clouds Wednesday, coming in on Thursday. 105 degrees, and it's going to heat up a lot more as we get into the latter half of the week, guys. It's going to be 111 all weekend, bringing back clouds on Sunday and Monday, and getting up to 112 on Tuesday. In the Weather Center, Peyton Watts.
I'm Emily Carmen. Coming up after the break, I'll have your Cronkite Sports Report, including a trip to the College World Series, where U of Arizona is chasing a title.
Every day I wake up, my first thought is, how can I serve this community?
The biggest hurdle was not taking PTSD personally.
Would you welcome, please, the amazing. Everybody that watches this, they say that I am the greatest that they've ever seen.
It's prime time on your time. Watch Prime Afternoons every weekday on Arizona PBS. Did you miss a show in the evening? Then catch up on Prime Afternoons. Your favorite dramas.
No more bloody heroics.
Antiques Roadshow.
Really?
Nature and Nova.
It's time to reintroduce some wonder into this miracle of nature.
All of the best from PBS on Prime Afternoons. Weekdays starting at 1:30, only on Arizona PBS. Take a journey with Arizona PBS. Join us every Sunday afternoon for Destination Drama. Watch all your favorite PBS dramas like Grantchester.
I'm William Davenport, new vicar of Grantchester.
Poldark.
Nothing in my life has meaning without you.
And Victoria.
I know that I'm young, but I know my duty.
And if you missed a recent primetime drama, we'll help you catch up on those too. Destination Drama, every Sunday afternoon at 1, only on Arizona PBS.
Cronkite News is more than your local news station. Through our innovative ideas, we create new ways to connect with our viewers and have their stories be heard. Our cutting-edge technology allows us to take a deeper dive into seeking the truth and delivering new perspectives. Stay up to date on top Arizona stories anytime on TikTok, Twitter, and Facebook at Cronkite News.
Welcome back to Cronkite News. I'm Emily Carmen. This is your Cronkite Sports Report. The Suns took Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals last night with a 6-point win over the LA Clippers. Devin Booker recorded his first triple-double, and no word on Chris Paul's return. He is likely out again for tomorrow's Game 2. And former Sun Devil golfer Jon Rahm won his first major over the weekend. He became the first Spaniard to win the U.S. Open, and this just 2 weeks after testing positive for COVID-19. And the Supreme Court made a big ruling this morning in regards to fair compensation for collegiate student athletes. The High Court ruled against the NCAA, saying their restrictions on education-related benefits to student athletes violates antitrust laws. The unanimous decision does not mean that college athletes can receive a paycheck for their work, but they can receive education-related benefits such as laptops or paid internships. However, this ruling could open the door for student athletes being paid in the future. The University of Arizona and Arizona State have made it to the College World Series a combined 40 times, and the Wildcats are back in it again this year. Cronkite News reporter Aaron Slindy tells us what it means to be a part of this special tournament and its rich tradition.
The College World Series has been played in Omaha since 1950. The NCAA and the Omaha community have worked together to make the College World Series a nationally recognized event.
This is what Omaha is all about, is College World Series. This is Omaha. This is what we do, is College World Series.
Last year, the Omaha community was devastated when the baseball season was canceled and there would be no College World Series. This year, the community is grateful to have the tournament back in town.
It has really livened up Omaha as far as our local economy.
College baseball teams over the entire country consider the postseason the Road to Omaha. There's even a bronze Road to Omaha statue in front of TD Ameritrade Park to symbolize how much this really means to the players, coaches, and fans.
It's a reward for a tremendous regular season and start to the postseason. It's unlike anything else in our sport. It's the best thing in our sport, at least from the competitive standpoint.
Everything that Arizona has done for the community, it's huge for Arizona to be here in the College World Series representing Tucson, Arizona.
Omaha is also now home to many youth baseball tournaments, so many young players can come play and watch the college players at the World Series.
All the teams that come here, they come from all around the world to play, and it's fun to be one of them.
8 teams will fight for a national championship title at the College World Series. In Omaha, Aaron Slindy, Cronkite News.
And we just received word that unfortunately U of A baseball has been eliminated from the College World Series with a 14-5 loss to Stanford. And that's it for the Cronkite Sports Report. Back to you, Sinead and Harrison.
That's it for Cronkite News tonight.
Thanks for joining us.